I hope you are clear actually. I hope everybody is clear. So now this is talking about a professional accountant in public practice, which is nothing but chartered accountant. Okay, practicing chartered accountant. Now what they say, my dear soldiers, applicable to audit engagement, applicable to audit engagement of listed entity in recognized stock exchange plus net worth of 250 crores. So it is applicable to audit engagement of listed entity in recognized stock exchange, plus you have a net worth of what you can say 250 crores. That's the thing actually here. Then in the next phase, after this is implemented now, it will be applicable to all listed entity. Okay, as of now, listed entity whose net worth is 250 crores or more, for them alone it is applicable as of now. And but now in the next phase, those whose net worth is less than 250 crores will be highlighted here, but the date they have not highlighted as of now. Okay, so again, NOCLAR, you have to escalate NOCLAR. You have to escalate NOCLAR, my dear soldiers. Non-compliance of laws and regulation, my dear soldiers. It has to be escalated, my dear soldiers. So this stands to be go for the what you can say, escalate the non-compliance of laws and regulation to the audit committee. That's the thing here. Now, in the earlier provision, they say that to all listed entity, audit of all listed entity, but now they are going phase by phase. That no, first let this NOCLAR be applicable to listed entity, but their net worth is exceeding 250 crores. Okay, that is the thing actually. But quite surprising that why they have gone for dilution of provision. That is quite surprising. Now, next one, let me move ahead. Let me talk about NBFC amendments. Which they have highlighted in May 23 RTP. NBFC amendments. Now, what are the changes they have brought in NBFC amendments? See, what has happened? They have done a tremendous change in what come on classification. NBFC, what has happened, my dear soldiers, is that they have made a tremendous change in the, what you can say, the term classification of NBFC. This is a very big change they have brought in. See why they, see earlier what was the category of NBFC? Earlier there were two categories of NBFC. One is deposit taking NBFC and second one was non-deposit taking NBFC. Two types of NBFC were there. One which takes deposit, the one, my dear soldiers, which does not take deposit. That's the thing actually. Two types of NBFC. So that's the thing actually here. So now they have completely changed that. What was happening is that earlier it was like, say, the old provision, they said that DTC and NDTC. Those NBFC which are accepting deposit and those NBFC which are not accepting deposit, they made this kind of classification, deposit taking and non-deposit taking. And RBI focus is always completely on deposit taking because they collect the, what you can say, deposit from the public, and there should be timely repayment of deposit to the public. That's the whole idea. So they are collecting the deposit from the public, and now this deposit should be properly repaid to the public, and without any kind of issue, without any kind of problem, it has to be repaid. That's the whole idea actually. So now whether that is happening or not, that has to be checked. So, and again, you had ILFS scam which happened. ILFS scam definitely almost like, say, more than 30-40,000 crore worth of scam, huge scam. It is very big scam. And that is also an NBFC. RBI said that no, for a better control, let us shift from this classification from DTC to NDTC. Now they have categorized based on risk. They have categorized, my dear soldiers. So let me just highlight it actually here. So NBFC is classified into 4 types. NBFC is classified into 4 types. One is NBFC lower level, NBFC lower level, or rather I should use the word base level. Let me use the word given by RBI. That is, first of all, you look into what you can say NBFC at a what you can say at a lower level. Okay, first, that is the first and the foremost thing is that we are looking at NBFC at a lower level. That is base level. Now, what are these NBFC? These NBFC are NDTC. They are NDTC. That is, NDTC means non-depositing company, and their asset size is less than 1,000 crores. So they are non-deposit taking companies, and their asset size is what, come on, less than 1,000 crore. 1,000 crore. So they have said that these NBFC will not accept any deposit. And please understand that for us here, our major focus is what, come on, the NBFC which is not accepting public deposit. And because that is less risky, our focus will be on more NBFC accepting deposit, but our focus will be very diluted when it comes to a non-depositing company. Our checking is very limited. That is a advantage of it actually. That's the thing here. Then base level, NBFC base level. What are the other things which are included, my dear soldiers? NBFC, write down NBFC, peer-to-peer lending. So NBFC, my dear soldiers, what you can say, peer-to-peer lending, peer-to-peer lending. That is the first thing actually. So first thing is that what, come on, non-depositing company less than 1,000 crore. The first one is what, come on, the NBFC, what you can say, peer-to-peer lending, peer-to-peer lending. They will come actually here. Then NBFC, my dear soldiers, also what you can say, the account aggregators. These are what you can say NBFCs which are included here, and where no public funds are involved. No public funds. Fully no public funds. No public funds are involved in case of this NBFC. That's the thing here. And also non-operative finance holding company. Non-operative finance holding company. Non-operative finance holding company. Like so these entities basically, they are very less risk. So for that they have classified. I think the trigger point for them is ILFS scam for RBI, because RBI is the controller of NBFC, and RBI wants the system to be cleaned up. So they said very least risk are these type of NBFC, non-depositing company, and here it will not include any DTC. No depositing company is included here. Okay. Second level is NBFC middle level. Second category is NBFC middle level. Here, non-depositing company, the asset size is more than 1,000 crores, so more than 1,000 crores. So more than 1,000 crores is the asset size actually here. Okay, plus DTC, depositing company, NBFC at the middle level. Okay, all depositing company will come. Here you will get core investment company. Write down core investment company. Core investment company will come into picture. So all deposit taking company, and what you can say, my dear soldiers, the core investment company. So you will also have the core investment company. That's the thing here. Okay, this is the another important pointer. Everybody is writing. Everybody is writing. Come on, hit the button www. Come on, hit the button www. Everybody is writing. Very good. Upendra, Alina, quick responses. Okay. So even core investment company will be falling under the NBFC middle level. See, it's how the transition they are doing based on the current scenario. It's a very good step. Government is also putting the laws in a dynamic manner. That's the thing here. Then housing finance company, finance company, housing finance company. So you have housing finance company, then you have infrastructure finance company, infrastructure debt fund. So you have infrastructure finance company, infrastructure debt funds. That's the thing here. So these different types of NBFC will fall under NBFC middle level. Okay. Core investment company, as you're aware, they will make investment only in their group companies. They'll not make investment elsewhere. Infrastructure finance company, infrastructure debt fund, they'll finance what you can say the infrastructure projects. So only infrastructure projects will be financed by them. That's the thing here. So any type of infrastructure projects will be financed. Next one, NBFC upper level. NBFC upper level. So here, as per RBI, it will include top 10 NBFC in India. Top 10 NBFC in India. In this portfolio, the category top 10 NBFC will be included. For example, Bajaj Capital is one of the top 10 NBFC in India. Bajaj Capital is there actually. Okay. Then Tata Capital is also. Then HDB. HDB is nothing but it's a set of for HDFC Bank. So they are the top 10 NBFC will be included in this NBFC upper level. Okay, this is because the monitoring system will be different, requirement will be different for these NBFC. And also you have, my dear soldiers, the NBFC top level, So also, my dear soldiers, what you can say, that's the thing here. So now in such scenario actually here, so this is the scenario, my dear soldiers. NBFC at the top level. That's the thing actually here. Okay. So these are the pointers you need to understand here. So RBI top level, as of now, it is empty. As of now, this category is empty. And RBI based on increase in systematic risk. RBI based on systematic risk, what they will do, they'll include in this category, So as of now, it's an empty, and they may classify under the top level that's the thing here. So it's a choice of RBI. Surprisingly for me, NBFC upper level and NBFC top level is definitely a game changer actually, because RBI will have a better control. See, ILFS had a huge deposits, and the question was, is 1 lakh crore, huge amount got diverted here, there. So that is why the RBI wants to have a stricter control on NBFC. They said, let us categorize certain NBFC into top 10 level, and that they have to highlight it, complied. That's the thing here. Okay. This is the thing here. So NBFC top level empty, and RBI is based on the increase in the, what you can say, systematic risk. So that's how we have to understand here. NBFC at the top level. That's the thing here. Will include in the list. Who will include? It is the RBI who is going to include this. Okay, fine. Now these are the amendments in the classification of NBFC. Please watch out for this amendment. Okay. Can I go ahead? Yes, can I go ahead? So we have understood, my dear soldiers, as far as the NBFC are concerned, we have completely understood the requirement. Now let us move forward actually here. Let us go to the, what you can say, the third change which has brought in is peer review. Yesterday I gave you a very brief about the peer review, but peer review also substantial change they have brought in as far as the peer review is concerned. You have peer review guidelines, okay, to 2022. So there are, what you can say, peer review guidelines. Actually, they have brought in peer review guidelines actually of 2022. which highlights about significant changes they have brought in the peer review. Peer review, they say you should comply. Basically, you should comply with PET. What they say, peer review says that you need to comply with the PET. So what is PET? P is professional standards. This is nothing but standards on auditing. Ethical standard, that is code of ethics, ethical standards. And you have technical standards. Technical standards. So peer review, basically guideline, you have to comply with PET. First of all, who has to comply with the PET actually here? So basically the auditor or the audit firm, they have to comply with the PET. That is professional standards, ethical standards, and what you can say the technical standards. That's the thing actually. So are we complying with the PET? That you need to be very clear, my dear soldiers. That's the thing here. So professional standards, ethical standards, and lastly, my dear soldiers, the technical standards. That's the thing actually here. So this is the first and the foremost pointer you need to understand about the peer review. That's the thing actually here. Okay. Then, my dear soldiers, what are the other factors you have to understand actually? So PET is PET will come into picture. Okay. And also another thing, they have introduced an amendment, audit quality maturity model, So AQMM, this is a new thing they have brought in. This was not there earlier. This is a complete, what you can say, shift, and it's an amendment. So audit quality maturity model, AQMM, means the firm is giving rating. So basically the audit firms are giving ratings. So that's the thing here. So ratings in the terms of what is it? Are you maintaining documentation? So there'll be some weightage attached to it. So the rating is given. That's the thing here. So they are given ratings in audit engagements. This is the form, my dear soldiers. That's the thing here. So rating, that's the thing, engagements. So there'll be, what you can say, a questionnaire type of, there will be there in audit quality maturity model, and they'll see that how much the firm is towards the audit. That's the thing actually here. So this is the thing actually here. And now they said that reviewer, who is a reviewer, my dear soldier? So he is a member empaneled is a member, my dear soldiers, empaneled. Okay, and my dear soldiers, by the board, empaneled by the board. That's the thing here. And also he is holding a qualifications of reviewers. So qualifications of reviewer, that's the thing here. So this is reviewer. Now another new word they have brought in, which was not there earlier, branch. So branch peer reviewer. So branch peer reviewer, this was not there, my dear soldiers. That's the thing here. So where, what you can say, the peer review is done, where peer review is done. So whatever peer review is done at the branch level, where the peer review is done at the branch level. Okay. The concept of this particular, what you can say, branch peer reviewer was not there. Now they brought out this amendment and change, which you have to be very careful. Okay. And even audit quality control, maturity model, it is not there. Many of us, we are not aware actually here. So this is also a new amendment they have brought in. Maturity model, basically, it enhances the quality of work to be done by your members, especially by the professional. What is the quality of work you have to maintain? How you should not compromise with the quality. Quality should not be compromised. That's the thing here. Okay. So these are the parameters, my dear soldiers, as far as the entity is concerned. Then, my dear soldiers, they have also defined what you can say new unit. New unit will not come under the peer review generally because of the limited clients. So you have new units. Okay. Now, in case of new units, my dear soldiers, as I told you, that there is a lack of client, and that's the thing actually. So this is what we understand by new unit. That's the thing here. So now, my dear soldiers, that's the thing here. So new unit means established less than a year, or what you can say entity, not entity, it's an audit firm, or you can just say firm, which is not into assurance services. So this new unit are either established less than a year or firm which is not into assurance services. Assurance services is nothing but it's a type of audit. It is nothing but a type of audit. Okay, that is how you have to understand actually. Okay, this is the thing. Then, my dear soldiers, so characters actually. Then what happens is that the practice unit. So the practice unit, my dear soldiers, of the what you can say listed entity. Now, how do you select? What are the required? So you classify the peer review into peer review is categorized into 4 parts. Okay, 4 parts it is categorized actually. Okay, and also they say that there is a concept of mandatory peer review. Mandatory peer review. So here, mandatory peer review has got 4 parts. Mandatory peer review. Now they have said that it has to be a mandatory peer review, then only it will come into picture. Okay. So mandatory peer review is now prescribed and it is given into the 4 parts. That's the thing here. Now, part 1. So let us talk about the part 1. Part 1, my dear soldiers, what they say is that the practice unit having a listed entity, then it is mandatory from 1/4/2022. 1/4/2022. Okay, so phase 1 is from 1/4/22. It starts off actually. That's the thing here. Then practice unit having a client. So any practice unit, my dear soldiers, is having a client. That practice unit, my dear soldiers, has a client, my dear soldiers, where the paid up share capital is 500 crores. Loans and borrowings is like say 500 crores. Okay. And what you can say, the annual turnover is 1000 crores. So whatever the annual turnover is 1000 crore. That's the thing here. So practice unit, now for these entity, the peer review is mandatory, compulsory. So from 1/4/2023, it is mandatory that you have to do the peer review of these various entity. Then practice unit raising funds. So practice unit, basically what happens is that is raising funds exceeding 50 crores. So practice unit, my dear soldiers, raising funds exceeding 50 crores actually. So from public or you can say bank, public or bank. So for these type of entities from 1/4/2024, the peer review is mandatory. Peer review is mandatory. Previous one point I left out here, or it can say where a practice unit has 5 or more partners. 5 or more partners. That's the thing. A practice unit has a 5 or more partners. That's the thing here. So if the practice unit has 5 or more partners, then that even that also to be come into picture. That's the thing here. Or what you can say, practice unit in the by raising funds from 1/4/24, they have 4 or more partners. So that's the thing. Now this is a very important listing where it is mandatory. And practice unit, my dear soldiers, the fourth category which are doing audit of branch of bank, specifically they have highlighted branch of bank from 1/4/2025. Mainly they want to include more and more practice unit for peer review, or practice unit, my dear soldiers, having what you can say 3 or more partners. 3 or more partners. That's the practice unit having 3 or more partners. That's the thing here. Okay. So these are the categorization of practice unit. Listed entity start 1/4/22. Then having client where paid up share capital, there it is 1/4/23 onwards. Then we're raising funds exceeding 50 crores 1/4/24 onwards. And practice unit of audit of a branch of a bank from 1/4/25. Practice unit having what you can say 3 or more partners. Okay, this limit parameters you should not forget actually here as to which type of entity will have the peer review process. For these type of entity, peer review process is mandatory. That's the thing here. Now procedures for peer review. First step, my dear soldiers, is what come on. The practice unit will, what you can say, make a application. They will make a application to peer review board in form number 1. In form number 1, they'll make an application to the peer review board in the form number 1. Form number 1, they are making the application. That's the thing. So the first and the foremost point is that they have to make application to the peer review board. Form number 1, requesting for peer review. Requesting for peer review. So practice unit make an application to peer review board in form number 1, requesting for you need to do the, so you are requesting for what you can say for the peer review. That is the first and the foremost thing in the form number 1. That's the thing here. Okay. Next one, what happens is that the practice unit will submit the application plus questionnaire. So they'll submit the questionnaire to my dear soldiers, peer review board secretary. They'll submit application for peer review in form number 1 to peer review board, and what you can say to the secretary, peer review board secretary. Mainly it is submitted. That's the thing here. Okay. So then, my dear soldiers, so peer review board will send name of 3 reviewers. So peer review board, what they will do is that they will send the name of what you can say 3 reviewers. Name of 3 reviewers they will send. That's the thing actually here. So this is what will happen, my dear soldiers. The peer review board, what they will do, they'll send the name of the what you can say 3 reviewers, and that's the thing actually here. So it is the important pointer we should note. That's the thing here. So practice unit will submit application plus questionnaire to peer review board secretary. Peer review board will send the name of the 3 reviewers. 3 reviewers name they will send to practice unit. Practice unit will select a reviewer. They will select a reviewer and communicate So they'll select a reviewer and they will come to the peer review board. So they'll communicate. They'll say that we have selected the reviewer, communicate. Then what happens, my dear soldiers, is that the board shall obtain declaration of. So the board, what they will do, they shall obtain a declaration of, what you can say, declaration of confidentiality. That's the thing actually. So here what happens, my dear soldiers, the board shall obtain the, what you can say, the declaration of the confidentiality from the reviewer. They'll appoint the reviewer. The practice unit will submit. This is what practice. They'll submit the application in form 1. Okay, and the questionnaire. So they'll submit the application in form number 1 and the questionnaire. That's the thing. So and the questionnaire, that is the point right here. Practice unit will submit the application in the form number 1 and the questionnaire. That's the thing actually here. So that is a point you need to highlight, my dear soldiers. We'll submit the application in form number 1 and what you can say, the questionnaire. That's the thing. So appoint the reviewer, and these are the points you need to understand. So we'll submit the application in form number 1 and what you can say, the questionnaire. That's the thing here. Okay. So now these are the points, my dear soldiers. So we'll submit to whom? To the reviewer. To the reviewer. So it will be given to the reviewer. Okay. Now, reviewer, what he will do, reviewer already he has given the declaration of confidentiality, he has given. Okay. So board has already obtained. That's the thing here. So reviewer, the peer reviewer will again submit the declaration of confidentiality. So he'll submit the declaration of confidentiality to what you can say, to the practice unit. To the practice unit, he is giving the declaration. Okay, so to practice unit actually here. And also peer reviewer is informing about the proposed visit. What is a proposed visit? Okay, so when will be the proposed visit actually? That's the thing here. Okay, so this is the thing here. Yeah. See, please understand that first application was submitted to whom? The application was submitted to the by the practice unit to the secretary. Secretary it was submitted. Now it is submitted to the reviewer, not to the secretary. Same application copy they will give it to the reviewer, and the reviewer has to take up the work from there. See, here also what you can say, declaration of confidentiality was given to the board. Now it is also given to the practice unit. Okay, that's the thing. Proposed visit plus proposed sample, proposed visit and proposed sample. What is a when is a proposed visit and when is a what is a proposed sample? They will highlight that. They will say, okay, this is the thing actually here. So here, what is a when is the proposed visit and what are the proposed sample? That's the thing here. Okay, now then what happens, my dear soldiers, is that so the what you can say, the form number 6. So peer reviewer will send a form number 6, form 6 for details. Then the practice unit will send form 5 to peer reviewer with details. So they'll submit these respective forms, and that's the thing here. Okay. So the entire peer review to be completed in 20 working days. 20 working days of the application made 20 working days of application made by practice unit are selected by board. And the peer reviewer and practice unit should complete peer review within 7 days. So the peer reviewer and practice unit should complete peer review within 7 days. Coordination, they should coordinate with themselves. That's the thing here. So coordination. So and working with each other, through coordination and working with each other. That's how it is done. So this is the thing, my dear soldiers. So now they have to ensure that it is being done within 7 days by coordination of working with each other. That's the thing here. But maximum 20 days time is given for the what you can say for the peer review. 20 days time will be given. Okay. Then, my dear soldiers, what happens? The once this is done, then it goes into execution stage. Same what is given in the peer review process actually. So peer review starts with planning, then execution, then reporting. Execution stage, there's no change actually here. So they in execution stage, they'll apply what you can say compliance procedure, and substantive procedure. And so execution stage, my dear soldiers, so you have what you can say, you have the my dear soldiers, the compliance procedure, and what you can say, you have the, my dear soldiers, the substantive procedure. That's the thing. Actually, compliance procedure, or what you can say, the substantive procedure. That's the thing actually here. So that is what we understand by the execution stage. So the same, it is same what is given in the old procedure wise. You have to check the assurance records, you have to check the working papers. This execution stage is same. Last stage, it goes into the reporting stage. Okay. Now in the reporting stage, what happens, my dear soldiers, is that first of all, they'll use a new form number 9. They're given form number 9, reporting by peer reviewer on systems and procedures of practice unit. So form number 9, this is a new form, they have brought it actually. So form number 9, reporting by peer reviewer on systems and procedures of the practice unit. So have they, what you have to check is that complied with what you can say PET, professional standards, ethical standards, and technical standards. That's the thing here. Okay. So have they complied with the PET? That's the thing here. This report they will prepare actually here, and they'll submit the report, what you can say, the report first to the, what you can say, to the practice unit. It should be given to the practice unit. That's the thing here. So any, what you can say, any deficiency in the systems. So is there any deficiency in the system and procedures? That's the thing here. Is there any deficiencies which is falling in systems and procedures? That's the thing here. So is there a non-compliance? My dear soldiers? That's the thing here. So is there a deficiency in systems and procedure, and is there a non-compliance, my dear soldiers? That's the thing here. So there, my non-compliance is there. That's the thing here. Okay. So now that's the thing here. So he has to submit. So what you can say, the peer reviewer will first give a preliminary report to what you can say, a practice unit. Practice unit will make representations. They will make representations within 2 days. Within 2 days. Very fast they have made the process of peer review. Earlier it was 90 days. Now it is taka, 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 taka. Very rapid pace it is going. So it's a very good thing ICI has done. So earlier it was more like a serial shooting. Now from serial shooting, they have made it to 2020 match. That's it. Over 20 days, finish off the peer review. And representation time also they're giving less. Within 2 days you respond. Within the what is the representation? That's the thing here. Okay. Then, my dear soldiers, what happens is that the final report is given to board. It is peer review board plus the practice unit. Board here, whenever we use the word board here is nothing but the peer review board and the practice unit. That's the thing here. Now, suppose say the peer reviewer will give a unqualified report. He will give a what you can say unqualified report, my dear soldiers, in the form number 9. So they will issue a unqualified report in the form number 9. That's the thing here. Okay. If they are satisfied, peer reviewer will give a qualified report. They will give a qualified report. So they will give a qualified report, my dear soldiers. That's the thing here. So peer reviewer, what they will do is that they will issue a qualified report in form number 9. If not satisfied, so they are not satisfied, then they'll issue a qualified report in form number 9 about the deficiency in systems and procedure. What are the deficiency in systems and procedure? They will issue in form number 9. If they are not satisfied, deficiency in systems and procedure. That's the thing actually here. So now this is what you need to highlight, my dear soldiers. Qualified report in form number 9. If not satisfied, there is a deficiency in what you can say systems and procedures. That's the thing actually here. So this is the pointer you need to highlight actually. That's the thing here. So in form 9, my dear soldiers, if not satisfied, there's a deficiency in systems and procedures. That's the thing here. So the peer reviewer will, as I highlighted that final report, they are giving to peer review board. Under peer review board, they will give it to secretary. Peer review board secretary, what he will do, he will submit the report to the board. So it goes to the secretary, and that's the thing here. So this is the thing here. So now suppose, and what happens is that, so 1 year time is given to practice unit for follow up. There's 1 year time is given to practice unit for follow up. So 1 year time is given. That's the thing here. Then what happens is that once this is done, what follow-up procedures? Suppose say audit planning is not done. So 1 year time is given to practice unit for the follow-up procedure. That's the thing here. Finally, what happens? You issue peer review certificate. So what will happen, my dear soldiers? A peer review certificate will be issued. So you issue a what you can say a peer review certificate. That's the thing here. So peer review certificate is issued when fees is paid by practice unit to the peer reviewer. Fee should be paid. That's the thing here. And the certificate peer board by the board. So that is peer review board will issue this certificate. PRC will be issued by the peer review board. That's the thing here. Or any subcommittee Okay, any subcommittee. That's the thing here. And validity will be for 3 years. 3 years validity will be there. So this will improve your visibility in the market. You can show that you have a peer review certificate valid for 3 years, and based on that, the audit can be obtained. That's the thing here. So it's like a self-certification. You can apply. You can tell ICI. You can tell peer review board that you want the peer review to be done. Voluntarily, you're asking them to come forward. Then only you can get big audits. Otherwise, you can't get big audits. This is a very strong twist they have done in the peer review. If you want to do audit of listed company, if you want to do audit of a company whose turnover is 1,000 crore above, big company, large company, you need to get PRC, peer review certificate. Okay. So this is all we need to highlight. And as I told you that maximum 20 days, you should complete the peer review, not more than 20 days. Is it clear? Can I go ahead? Can I go ahead, my dear soldiers? All of you, can I go ahead? Yes, all of you are clear. Everybody is clear. Okay, fine. So these are the amendments which have come up for your examination. Okay, these are stand to be the total complete amendment I have discussed actually here. Amendments which are related to code of ethics, NBFC classification, peer review, everything we have discussed. Okay, so this you please note it actually. Plus we discussed about the amendments in the definition of small company and corporate governance. So each nook and corner of amendment we have discussed completely in May 23 RTP. Okay. Now May 23 RTP, we have also completed the integrated questions, MCQ questions we have completed. Now let us go and check out some descriptive questions, how these descriptive questions are panning out. Let us try to understand that. I'll be just back in 5 minutes, then we'll start the discussion. Give me 5 minutes. So now let us take up the questions they have asked actually here in the descriptive questions rather, which we will be discussing here. First thing, what they say, Mangal and Company Chartered Accountant has been appointed as a statutory auditor of Money Limited for the financial year 21-22. Audit team has completed the audit and is in the process of preparing audit report. The management of the company has also prepared draft annual report. Okay, audit in charge was going through draft annual report. Now, moment you see the word annual report, your mind should trigger with SA 720. 720 is a standard which talks about auditor's responsibility in relation to other information. I repeat, auditor's responsibility in relation to other information. Okay, so this is what happens when you keep practicing the question. You should get that habit. Okay, moment they say annual report means your mind should trigger towards 720. Immediately it should trigger. Okay, that is the thing. 720 is now one of the favorite standards of the examiner. Okay, when examiner is what you can say validating the students, he is trying to check these standards actually. So 720 is a fairly new standard and fairly very important standard. Okay, now it's 720 talks about other information. What is other information? Other information refers to those information, amounts, items, matters which are other than financial statement and audit report. So something which is other than financial statement and audit report, that will fall under the purview of what you can say the other information. Okay, that's the thing actually. Good. Now let me move forward. Audit in charge was going through draft annual report and he observed. So the audit in charge, what he did is that he observed, audit in charge, he observed the company has included an item in its annual report indicating a downward trend in the market price of key commodities and raw material as compared to previous year. He says that there is a downward trend in the market prices of key commodities and raw material as compared to the previous year. There stands to be a downward trend. However, the actual profit margin of the company as reported in the financial statement has gone in a reverse direction. They are telling that there is a downward value in the key commodity price. So definitely the profit should go up, but here profit has gone down. Now, audit manager discussed the issue with the partner of the firm, who in reply said that auditors are not covered with such disclosure made by the management in the annual report. So auditor tell that he is not responsible for what is disclosed by the management. It is the responsibility of management. Do you think the partner is correct in his approach to this issue? Discuss the reference with relevant to standard and auditing on auditing auditor's duty with regarding to the reporting. This is a repeated question. It has already come in the previous RTP. So it's a more of a repeated category. Okay, so the surprise element in this question is not there. Complication is not there as long as you know that annual report means it is other information. Now, please understand that there is a difference between what is given in the financial statement and what is given in the annual return, annual report. There's a difference. Now, this creates what you can say, this creates a material inconsistency. There is a creation of what you can say a material inconsistency is being created. That's the thing here. So now what happens, my dear soldiers, is that you are creating a material inconsistency. Material inconsistency is being created here. That's the thing actually. So material inconsistency between the other information and the financial statement. Auditor, what he will take up? He'll take up the financial statement and compare with the other information. And he will state that, okay, if there is a material inconsistency, then what happens? He should inform the management to correct the material inconsistency. He has to inform them. That's the thing here. And rectify the material inconsistency. That's the thing here. So if there's a material misstatement, you request the management to correct the misstatement. If the management is agreeing to correct, see that they have corrected. If they refuse, then you escalate to those charged with governance, request them to correct. If they are not correcting, then in such case, you have to see that the audit report will be giving a modified opinion accordingly. Okay, this is what you need to highlight actually here. So just to give you a briefer in the standard, when you're writing You give reference to essay 720, essay 720. What is the auditor's responsibility in relation to other information? First, you please give a what you can say a briefer regarding this actually. So that's the thing here. Okay. So now then what happens, my dear soldiers, is that next one, what happens is that after essay 720, you're giving reference actually here. So you find that there is a material inconsistency between other information and financial statement. So you request management to correct. If management corrects, so suppose say management is correcting, then what happens that you have to just check whether the correction is done or not. Otherwise, you have to escalate to those charged with governance and request them to correct. So to request them to correct. Okay, so you are escalating the matter to those charged with governance, and you're requesting them, yeah, please do the correction of the same. Please do the correction of the same. So you are making a request to them. That's the thing actually here. Okay, so management is correcting, check it, or escalate to those charged with governance and request them to correct it actually here. If there's no correction, then you have to consider the impact on audit report. So whether we should give a modified opinion. So whether we should have a modified opinion as per essay 705. As per essay 705, you have to check that. Okay, so it's a repeated question, fairly easy question. Okay, not full of surprises. Now let me go to the next one. Look at this. CAP is the auditor of Master Data Limited 2122. He requests the auditor to undertake the exercise involving only verification of trade receivable for half year ending 30th September 2021. Company wants to be satisfied that trade receivable are properly confirmed and reconciled. In this regard, CAP has verified arithmetical accuracy of trade receivable, obtained confirmation of trade receivable, ensure verification of proper reconciliation with confirmation. He is in dilemma that whether he can give a report providing assurance to the company in respect, guide CAP with reasoning, assume that above exercise can undertaken and there is no legal bar. Fantastic question, brand new question, and they have never asked this question in the examination. Okay, so they have never asked. It's a beautiful brand new question they have given. See, he is telling that you check only, this word is important, you check only, my dear soldiers, verification of trade receivable for half yearly ending. Okay, so he's asking the question that whether I can issue a report providing assurance to the company. Means is it an audit or a review have I done? Because what he has checked only the trade receivable for half yearly ending 30th September. And now he's asking a question that whether he can issue a report providing assurance to the company. Can he issue the report? That's the thing here. So whether he can issue the report, that's what he is asking. That's the thing here. So whether the report can be issued. You're getting what I'm trying to highlight, my dear soldiers. Okay. So whether he can give a report providing assurance to the company, the report can be provided, we are giving a assurance to the company, and that's the thing actually here. So whether it can be done or not is the question that is being asked actually here. Okay. So I hope you're clear. I hope you're getting the point actually here. Okay. Did you understand? So my question is that can you issue an audit report for this, where he is checked only half yearly trade receivable? Please tell me yes, no, 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 yes, no. Come on. Go ahead, give an answer. Can I issue audit report for only one item in the balance sheet and give an audit report opinion on that? So definitely answer is no. You definitely can't do it. Definitely it is unacceptable. It cannot be done. Okay. So here it is a report on factual findings, and this will be governed by standards on review engagement, standards on related services. It will fall under related services. It will not fall under assurance. So there is no question of giving report here. Okay. Beautifully, they have given the question. First time surprise element, very strong surprise element from the point of, they have not asked this question anywhere in the exam. That's the beauty of it. That's the thing here. So, okay, write down. Auditor verify trade receivable for half yearly. Auditor verify trade receivable for half yearly. I'm just giving you gist answer. I'm not giving complete answer. Gist, what the gist to be highlighted here. Okay. So now, my dear soldiers, is that it's a process of fact finding, and my dear soldiers, and reporting, fact finding and reporting. So what is selling? Arithmetical accuracy, confirmation from trade receivable, and is there a proper reconciliation? So process of fact finding and reporting. That's the thing here. So auditor will issue, my dear soldiers, assurance report for audit and review. If he's doing audit and review, for that assurance report is being issued. That's the thing here. So auditor gives comfort to the user. He gives a comfort to the user about the reliability of assertions. So he gives comfort to the user about the reliability of assurance. That's the thing here. Okay. And he evaluates the results and expresses opinion. He will give opinion. That's the thing actually here. So now, my dear soldiers, this is the thing here. So this is the thing. So he expresses a opinion. That's what auditor does. That's the thing here. Now, this situation is not assurance, but related service. So it's more of a related service, that is agreed upon procedures. It's more of a related service, agreed upon procedure. That's the thing here. So now, no assurance report. So there is no assurance report. That's a conclusion. Rather, report on fact findings. So report on fact findings to be given. That's the thing here. So report on fact findings. That's the thing here. So that is the thing actually, my dear soldiers. This is what you need to understand, is that no assurance report and report on what you can say fact findings. That's the thing here. Okay. So this is the pointer you need to understand, my dear soldiers. That's the thing here. So there's no assurance report, and it's a report on what you can say fact findings. That's the thing here. So this is what, so you are highlighting only the, what you can say, facts. So facts you're giving. That's the thing here. So this is what you have to highlight actually here. Okay, fine. So this is how you have to submit your answer, give your answer, elaborate manner. Brand new question, fantastic question they have asked, amazing question they have asked actually, no doubt about it. So this is a very good question altogether, and it's a full of surprises. I mean, you have a lot of surprise element in it. Okay, now let us go to the next question actually. Now look at this. Krishna Limited is a small size 25-year-old company having a business of manufacturing of pipes. Company has plant based out of Haridwar, have their corporate office in Meerut. Recently, company appointed new firm of chartered accountant as a statutory auditor. Statutory auditor wants to enter into engagement letter with the company in respect of the services, but management is contented, since the statutory audit is mandated by law, engagement letter may not be required. Auditor did not agree to this. He shared a small format of engagement letter of management for reference before getting signed. In respect, management would like to understand SA 210. If the agreed terms of engagement shall be recorded in engagement letter or other suitable form of written agreement, what should be included in the terms of agreed audit engagement letter? Very, very ordinary question. He is asking that what are the contents of audit question. As far as the length of question is concerned, it is definitely there to scare the students. Oh, wow, this much is there. This much big question, 2-paragraph question is there. But if you see the last line, is asking what is included in the audit engagement letter. So quite disappointing, my dear soldiers. So, but it is successful in giving a build-up, and it is acting as a time waster. But anyway, it's a very good thing they have done. But to surprise, shocks the student, definitely it's a good thing. So I would like to categorize this question as a brand new question. It's a brand new question, just like before one. Brand new question. They were never asked this question. But the contents. What are the contents as per essay 210? So you have essay 210. Essay 210 highlights what are the contents of the engagement letter. So you have objective and scope. Objective and scope. So if you see this question, as I told you, it's a brand new question. They've never asked, but the complexity is so low. See, second question, the complexity was very, very high. Amazing question. It's a CA final level. This is looking more like a CA intermediate level question. Okay. But again, sometimes laxity is there. Students will not read initial standard. So that is a problem here. So here, objective and scope of audit of financial statement that you have to highlight. That is the first point. And what is the objective and scope of audit of the financial statement? That is the first thing. Then next one, my dear soldiers, is that so that is the first and the foremost thing, is that what is the objective and scope of the financial statement? Then responsibility of auditor, then responsibility of the management, responsibility of management. Okay, so responsibility of auditor, responsibility of management, objective and scope of audit of the financial statement. That's the thing actually here. Okay, so these are the pointers you need to highlight, my dear soldiers. That's the thing here. So now, first and the foremost thing is that objective and scope of audit of financial statement. So you have responsibility of auditor, you have the responsibility of the what you can say of the management. Okay, that also comes into picture. That's the thing actually here. So responsibility of auditor, responsibility of management. Okay, that's the thing here. And what you can say, applicable financial reporting framework and the form of reporting. So these are the 5 contents of the audit engagement letter. 5 contents. What is the form of reporting that comes into picture? Ordinary question, very low quality question according to me. It's just giving a hype build up, but it's not having a stuff. If you read the last line, you understand that it's very simple thing they're asking actually. Okay, that is the one thing. So now, my dear soldiers, the next category of question. Let us go to the next category. Suvrit Limited, having a net worth of 2,100 crore and Ind AS are applicable to them. Company had a various derivative contracts, options, forward contracts, interest rate swaps, which were required fair value by the company. Valuation is done through external third party. The statutory auditor of the company involved an auditor's expert to the audit valuation of derivatives. Auditor and the auditor's expert were new to each other. They were working for first time together, but develop a good bonding during the audit. Auditor did not enter into any formal agreement with the auditor's expert. So please advise. Now, this is again a what you can say, it's a repeated question. So it is not having much cut to cut. It's a repeated question from a mock test paper. So it's a repeated question. So no much this thing here. And complexity is also low as far as this question is concerned, because it's repeated question from past exam also and mock test paper also. So he is asking that agreement. So now auditor has engaged the expert. So you have to give essay 620 using the work of auditor's expert. You have to highlight that. That's the thing here, using the work of auditor's expert. So when there is an agreement, in agreement, what you will do, you will put the roles and responsibility of auditor and roles and responsibility of. So you have what you can say roles and responsibility of auditor, and what you can say you have the my dear soldiers, the roles and responsibility of what you can say. That's the thing here. So roles and responsibility of auditor and roles and responsibility, that there should be an agreement, my dear soldiers. Roles and responsibility of the auditor's expert. In agreement, they have to clearly highlight that. That's the thing here. And what is the nature, extent, timing of communication? What is the nature, extent, timing of communication between the auditor and auditor's expert? So what is the nature, extent, timing of communication between the auditor and the auditor's expert? That's the thing here. Okay. So these are all the things you need to highlight, my dear soldiers. It is agreed between the, what you can say, the auditor and auditor's expert. That's the thing actually here. So now this is the point you need to highlight, my dear soldiers. That's the thing is that, so the thing is that roles and responsibility of auditor, roles and responsibility of auditor's expert, nature, extent, timing of communication between auditor and auditor's expert, actually, that all these things are clearly highlighted actually. Then my dear soldiers, now why you require a detailed agreement in writing? Now, why this agreement is required in writing? Why you require an agreement is the question. So first of all, there may be sensitive information, because of the sensitive information. Okay. And because of, my dear soldiers, work is highly complex. And that is why you require agreement. So because work is highly complex in nature. That's the thing here. And no previous work of expert. So there is no previous work of expert, my dear soldiers. That's another problem. That's the thing here. And there's a greater significance of auditor's expert work. Greater significance. Then you definitely require a agreement with this particular expert. Very repeated question, and complexity is extremely low. So you don't have to worry about this question. Very simple. What the agreements are there with the expert, and what are the contents of this agreement? Okay. Can I go ahead? To the next question? Okay, I'll go to the next question, next category of question. Let me go there. During the course of audit, Alina says, go ahead. Thank you, Alina. In the course of audit of Treasure Limited, CA Gautam is concerned with the quality of and effectiveness of internal control. Towards achieving his objective, he wants to assess and evaluate the control environment. Guide CA Gautam a well-defined set of standard operating procedures in the assessment and evaluation of internal control. So what are the standard operating procedures for evaluating the internal control? That's the thing here. So what procedures you have? That's the thing here. What are the standard operating procedures? That's the thing. Guidance for what you can say the standard operating procedure. That's the thing here. So standard operating procedures, whenever we talk about that, actually here, my dear soldiers, SOP, they deal with what you can say, they define the roles, responsibility, process, and control. That's the thing. That is what we understand by the standard operating procedure. That's the thing here. So they define the roles, responsibility, process, controls. That's the thing here. So standard operating procedure will define that. That's the thing actually here. Okay, that's the thing here. So now this is the thing here. So it defines the set of what you can say SOP that's in here. So this is a new question, and they have never tested this question in the exam. And because of the internal control chapter, little additions they have done. So it's a wonderful way of writing. I would appreciate this question. So how do you, it's a new question, that's the thing here. So SOP helps to define roles and responsibility, process and controls, my dear soldiers, and clearly communicate. You clearly communicate, my dear. SOP helps to define roles and responsibility, process and controls, and what you can say, they clearly communicate, my dear soldiers, the operating controls. What are the operating controls? They clearly communicate the what are the different operating controls. That's the thing here. So there will be a proper understanding of controls. So there has to be a what you can say, proper understanding of controls. That's the thing. So again, I repeat, my dear soldiers, SOP helps to define the my dear soldiers. It helps to define the roles and responsibility, process, control, and communicate what are the operating controls, and you will have a proper understanding of the controls. That's the thing actually here. Okay, that is the first and the foremost thing actually here. Then, my dear soldiers, it is also providing a base for enterprise risk management. That's the thing here. So risk identification, risk mitigation. That's the thing is risk identification and risk mitigation, my dear soldiers. There has to be a what you can say periodical review. There stands to be a periodical review. That's the thing here. So you have what you can say risk identification and risk mitigation, and there stands to be a periodical review. That's the thing here. Okay, so this is one thing actually here. And also what happens is that segregation of duties, whether proper segregation of duties are there. That's the thing here. So for example, there are multiple activities that has to be segregated. Multiple activity in a transaction must be segregated, and one person should not carry out the entire transaction. So multiple activities, my dear soldiers, in a transaction, it must be segregated. There has to be job rotation in sensitive areas. Whether job rotation is happening in the sensitive areas, that you have to check. That's the thing here. And proper delegation of power. There is a proper delegation of power. That's the thing here. And also you check the IT controls. What are the IT controls? That you need to be very clear. Though this is the thing here. So this is not related to any standards on auditing, but it's a topic in the internal control chapter actually here. So that's the thing here. So it's a good question, brand new question. Okay, so IT controls are there, proper delegation of power is there, job rotation, segregation of duty, and do they have a system of enterprise risk management? That's the thing actually. So this is how you do the assessment and evaluation of the control. Okay, second question, which I would appreciate by the people who have set up the RTP. It's a brand new question. Good. When they give brand new question, they enhance the quality of RTP or any mock test paper for that matter. Next one. Auditor is required to obtain an understanding of internal control relevant to audit when identifying and assessing the effectiveness of risk of material misstatement. You observed significant deficiency exists in internal control system. You want to ascertain the same. Elucidate the various indicators of significant deficiency which helps the assessing the efficiency of internal control system of the organization. That's the thing here. So what are the indicators which shows that there's a significant deficiency in the internal control of the organization. Superb. Again, a brand new question. They have asked this question. See, when the word they are repeating significant deficiency, you need to go to essay 265. Essay 265. Communicating deficiencies. Communicating deficiencies in internal control to TCWG and management. So again, I repeat, my dear soldiers, essay 265, communicating deficiencies in internal control to those charged with governance and the management. That's the thing here. So indicators of significant deficiency in controls. So what are the indicators of significant deficiencies in internal control? That is the thing actually. So now, my dear soldiers, indication of significant transaction. So there is a indication of significant transaction, my dear soldiers, where the management is financially interested. So financially interested. So indication of significant transaction where the management is financially interested. That's the thing here. So this is the point actually here. Then management no proper remedial steps, no proper to the controls. So management is not at all taking any remedial steps to improve the controls. That's the thing here. Then there is a management fraud is involved. Management fraud is involved. So it shows that there is definitely some issue which is happening within the organization. That's the thing here. So absence of risk assessment process. So is an absence of risk assessment process. That's the thing here. Ineffective risk assessment process. So there's an absence of risk assessment process, ineffective risk assessment process. That's the thing here. And my dear soldiers, that's the thing here. Also, there is a prior period errors, which are coming into picture. That's the thing here. Okay. And management is unable to oversee. So there are prior period errors. There are management is unable to oversee any preparation of the financial statement. That's the thing actually. So these are the various things need to come into picture. That's the thing actually here. Okay. These are the various pointers actually here. So indication, my dear soldiers, of the what you can say, my dear soldiers, that there is a significant transaction in which management is financially interested. Management no proper remedial steps to improve controls. There is a management fraud. There's an absence of risk assessment procedure, ineffective risk assessment procedure, prior period errors, and management is unable to oversee the preparation of the what you can say financial statement. Okay. Third, very good question they have given, brand new question they have given, which was not there earlier. It's a I should definitely appreciate that reading this May 23 RTP is going to help you a lot, because if you don't read these questions, there's some surprise element you'll miss out if these same questions appear in the examination. Wonderful job. There's no doubt. Wonderful job. Okay. Next question. Let us go to the next question. Wish for New Foundation Limited, a pharmaceutical company, collected data from some hospitals and their experts and tried to understand the medical needs of elderly people. After complete study, the expert developed an application where this company will provide complete healthcare after charging a nominal amount from the customers. If the customers download this application in their mobile phone, CA Sheetal in his audit has used the data analytics method, also known as computer assisted audit technique. Now give illustration of suggested approach to get the benefit of the use of the computer assisted audit technique. So it's a very ordinary question. Complexity is low. If you read the last line, it will make you understand what is the requirement actually. Okay, so they're not required. Just you would have seen. So there's no much twist in the question. Very, very straightforward question. That's the thing here. So first of all, you have to understand the business environment. So what is a business environment? You have to understand, my dear soldiers. That's the thing here. Then, my dear soldiers, the format of data, identify the data. You have to extract the data. That's the thing here. Then you have to extract the data. Then compare criteria. Compare the criteria with the data. You need to compare the criteria with the data, and then you have to validate and confirm the results. You have to validate and confirm the results. So that's the thing. So what is the format of data? Identify the data, extract the data, compare the criteria data, validate and confirm the result. That's the thing here. Reporting and then documenting. Reporting and documenting. As far as the frequency of question is concerned, this is not in a high frequency question, but it's a very easy, simple, straightforward, direct question. So there's no much complication. You have to understand the business environment. You have to format the data, identify the data, extract the data, compare the criteria with the data, validate and confirm the results, reporting and documenting. Okay, clear? All of you have understood? Everybody has understood? Come on, hit the button. You. Okay, Alina has understood. Fantastic. Very good, Alina. Now, I think we will stop the discussion here. Tomorrow, 1 hour will help us to cover all the balance question. Thereby, the RTP will be completed here. So tomorrow, maybe 11 to 12, we will assemble and we will discuss the balance RTP question. Okay. So thank you very much, my dear soldiers. Take care. Take good care of your health. Thank you very much. Thank you, Alina. Thank you.